Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. My name is Kitty Bahel. In the backdrop of a woman employee levelling molestation charge against West Bengal Governor Dr. C.V. Ananda Bose, the Raj Bhavan has said that it will show the related CCTV footage to 100 people except politician Mamata Banerjee and her police. In this tweet, it was said that Governor Bose has launched a program Sach Ke Samne in the background of the mischievous and fabricated allegations by the police that Raj Bhavan is not sparing the CCTV footage of an incident which is under the illegal and unconstitutional investigation of the police. All right, my colleague Saurabh now joins us on the broadcast here, getting us more on that. Saurabh, that is the latest coming in. This tweet has been posted just a while back where the governor has now said that he's decided that the footage will be placed in public domain and will be shown to the first 100 people who wish to see it, but not to Mamata Banerjee and her police.
That's right. It's been an ugly exchange of words, and this is something that has happened this morning again after the governor announced that he would share the CCTV footage with 10 other people with him in the premises of the Raj Bhavan. This comes shortly after it was announced that that there would be someone from the Raj Bhavan who would be accompanying the governor, and obviously this has reached a level where the both of them don't see eye to eye, and also. The governor is now, of course, after stopping the police, after not allowing anybody to come to the Raj Bhavan, has now looking to hit back and allowing the police to also sort of hit back from there.
How far has the probe reached?
Well, the probe, of course, there cannot be a case. There's obviously the case registration hasn't happened, but the police had asked for people to come and speak to them. That hasn't happened. And also the issue of getting people to, sort of stir, or sort of taken of, note of an offense, that also hasn't happened too soon.
Okay. Thanks so much for getting us all those details there. We'll keep an eye on the developments. Meanwhile, in some more news now that we're tracking at the moment, Sam Pitroda, veteran congressman and party's overseas unit chief, stepped down from the post this evening amid a huge political row over his controversial remarks that came amid the elections. In an interview, Sam Pitroda described India as a diverse country where people on the east look like Chinese, people on west look like Arab, people on north like white people, and people in the south look like Africans, he said. Will the Congress, still firefighting over Sam Pitroda's earlier comment on inheritance tax, found itself in the middle of another controversy with his latest remarks. However, Pitroda has now resigned from the post. Take a look at this report.
Our next generation of leaders.
And he has done it again, quickly emerging as Congress's self-goal expert. Rahul Gandhi's advisor Sam Pitroda has sparked another controversy, embarrassing his party, this time comparing South Indians to Africans and people from the Northeast to the Chinese. No surprise, the Prime Minister and most top BJP leaders did not lose the opportunity to attack the Congress.
आज मुझे पता चला कि अमेरिका में एक शहजादे के एक अंकल रहते हैं। ये शहजादे के अंकल वो उनको फिलोसोफर एंड गाइड है। चमड़ी के रंग के आधार पर मेरे देशवासियों का अपमान कर रहे हैं। शहजादे, आपको जवाब देना पड़ेगा। चमड़ी के रंग के आधार पर मेरे देशवासियों का अपमान मेरा देश सहन नहीं करेगा।
कितनी बार हिंदुस्तानियों का अपमान करोगे? इससे बड़ा जातिवादी बयान क्या हो सकता है?
राहुल गांधी के एडवाइजर हैं। अब मैं समझ गया कि राहुल गांधी इस तरह से अनाप शनाप क्यों बोलते हैं। इस पर क्या टिप्पणी की जाए? ये हार की हताशा है। न हिंदुस्तान समझते हैं, न देश की विरासत समझते हैं। The Congress has been largely silent over the controversy, except for distancing itself from Pitroda's comments.
सैम पिट्रोडा द्वारा भारत की अनेकताओं को जो उपमाएं दी गई हैं वो बिल्कुल गलत है, दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है और अस्वीकार्य है।
Southern parties aren't amused by Pitroda's comments either.
The stereotyping of calling North Indian resembling Chinese or South Indian resembling African is totally unacceptable. Prime Minister Modi in this issue is hypocritical because when his own partyman has made similar statement in the past targeting religious minorities. Sam Pitroda is nobody to India Alliance.
I think it's high time people like Sam Pitroda are shown their awkaat, where they belong to.
In the midst of elections, Sam Pitroda's comments have come at a very unfortunate time for the Congress. With Bureau Input, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Well, as Sam Pitroda draws flack over his racist remarks, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju in an exclusive on NDTV has said that Sam Pitroda's divisive thinking undermines the nation. Listen in.
Mr. Rijiju, it's a sad day. It's a sad day because some very repulsive commentary has been made for our fellow countrymen. I do not know what to say to that gentleman who has made these comments. However, to you I ask, this surely is something that can be completely avoided and a thought process that probably not even the most illiterate or not even the most people who are completely dismissive of others' identities can be discussing or should be discussing in this day and age.
See, first of all, Nikunj, I heard this statement today, and I must say that I was not surprised that such comments have come from Sam Pitroda. But it is shocking because it has come in a time when we are trying to unify our country by all sense. You know, we have to be together. We are one. India is a nation which is known as a very diverse but united country. So this statement made by Sam Pitroda is in very bad taste. In fact, it is very harmful for India's unity and integrity. Now let me, make some very quick observation. This Sam Pitroda's remarks cannot be taken lightly because he is the mentor, philosophical guide, and he is the advisor of Mr. Rahul Gandhi.
Well, of course, the question now arises here is that if the resignation of the concerned man here is enough, will the Congress party take further action against him or not? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, in a setback to the ruling BJP in Haryana amid the Lok Sabha elections, 3 independent MLAs today announced that they have withdrawn their support to the Nayab Singh Saini-led government in the state. The 3 MLAs, Sombir Sangwan, Randhir Golen and Dharampal Gondir, also said they have decided to extend support to the Congress party during the elections. Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini has spoken exclusively to NDTV and said that the government is stable. Listen in.
तो सर कैसे चल रहा है कैंपेन और क्या फीडबैक आ रहा है?
आपके सामने है, आप देख भी रहे हैं लोगों का जो जोश जो उत्साह है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जो नीतियां हैं और जो डबल इंजन सरकार ने काम किया है, लोगों को इस बात का विश्वास हुआ है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेतृत्व में ही देश आगे बढ़ सकता है और जो संकल्प नरेंद्र मोदी जी लेते हैं उस संकल्प के ऊपर देश विश्वास करता है, क्योंकि कांग्रेस के बातों के ऊपर, घोषणाओं के ऊपर आज देश का विश्वास उठ चुका है।
सर, जो हरियाणा में जो लगातार उथल पुथल चल रही है, इसको कैसे देख रहे हैं? जो 3 इंडिपेंडेंट एमएलए है वो वहां चले जाते हैं, उसके बाद लगातार कई क्यास लगाए जा रहे हैं, उसको कैसे देख रहे हैं?
देखिए, कांग्रेस की नीति रही है भ्रष्टाचार को जन्म देना और वो झूठ बोल करके लोगों को सजबाग दिखा करके, बरगड़ा करके वो अस्थिरता का माहौल पैदा करते हैं। पीछे भी आप लोगों ने देखा, राहुल गांधी साहब जा करके जेएनयू के अंदर जो देश के टुकड़े की बात करता है उसको समर्थन देते हैं। और आपने देखा होगा अभी पिछले दिनों राहुल गांधी बोलते हैं मंच से कि मैं एक झटके में गरीबी समाप्त कर दूंगा।
तो आपको क्या लगता है, कोई पॉलिटिकल डील हुई है? कल जो भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा के पास चले गए, क्या लगता है?
तो भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा को मालूम है और इसको पूरा प्रदेश भी जानता है, पूरा देश भी जानता है। कांग्रेस के चरित्र को, कांग्रेस के जो उनके कार्यक्रम होते हैं उनको पूरा देश जानता है।
मेरा सर लास्ट सवाल है कि क्या हमारी सरकार स्टेबल है? क्या हमारी सरकार स्टेबल है? हमारे
नहीं, देखिए अभी 10 मेरे ख्याल से 1 महीने पहले विश्वास प्रस्ताव हमने हासिल किया है। हर बार कांग्रेस पार्टी चाहे केंद्र है चाहे प्रदेश है, इनका तो एजेंडा एक ही है, विश्वास प्रस्ताव के ऊपर बात करो। ये केंद्र में भी लेकर के आए, इन्होंने अपने मुंह की खानी पड़ी। ये प्रदेश में हर बार लेकर के आए, अपने मुंह की खानी पड़ी।
तो सरकार स्टेबल है, हम कह सकते हैं।
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
आज हम तीनों भाई जो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की नायब श्रेणी की सरकार है, उससे अपना समर्थन वापस देते हैं।
Dramatic developments in Haryana in the middle of the Lok Sabha election after 3 independent MLAs switched from the BJP camp to the Congress side, reducing the BJP-led state government to a minority in the Haryana Assembly.
सरकार को तुरंत पद छोड़ देना चाहिए, इस्तीफा देना चाहिए और राष्ट्रपति शासन लागू कर देना चाहिए ताकि निष्पक्ष चुनाव हो जाए।
जनता के कहने पे, हल्के की जनता को कहने पे वापिस अपना समर्थन ले। कांग्रेस एक ऐसी पार्टी है जो गरीबों की बात सुनती है।
कांग्रेस में शामिल होने वाले हैं? कांग्रेस में
ऐसा कुछ नहीं, समर्थन हमने वापस लिया है और बाहर से हम सपोर्ट करेंगे कांग्रेस को।
Chief Minister Saini, who took over the top post just about 2 months back, had a guarded response, but did not elaborate on how the BJP plans to counter the threat to its government.
तो पॉलिटिकल डील हुई है? कल जो भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा के पास चले गए, क्या लगता है?
तो भूपेंद्र सिंह हुड्डा को मालूम है और इसको पूरा प्रदेश भी जानता है, पूरा देश भी जानता है। कांग्रेस के चरित्र को, कांग्रेस के जो उनके कार्यक्रम होते हैं उनको पूरा देश जानता है।
Haryana Speaker Gyan Chand Gupta, who may have a big role to play as the events in Haryana unfold, has ruled out a fresh test of majority.
कि अगर एक बार फ्लोर टेस्ट होता है सरकार का, तो वो 6 महीने के अंदर दोबारा फ्लोर टेस्ट के अंदर उसकी हो नहीं सकता। तो ये नियमों में दिया गया है, लेकिन जो भी कोई परिस्थिति सामने आएगी वो जानकारी मिलने के पश्चात ही कोई हम निर्णय करेंगे।
A key player in Haryana could be former Deputy Chief Minister and JJP leader Dushyant Chautala, who exited the BJP-led Haryana government before the Lok Sabha polls and has said he will support any move to topple the Saini government.
नेतृत्व करने लायक कि आज वो कमजोर हो चुके और ये कमजोरी मानने वाला मुख्यमंत्री मुझे लगता है नैतिक आधार पर प्रदेश का नेतृत्व करने लायक नहीं।
Bluster apart, now the big question in Haryana is who has the numbers? With Vijay, Rajesh Kumar, this is Group Singh China for NDTV.
All eyes now will be on what happens next in Haryana. Will the government be able to survive or not? That remains to be seen. Meanwhile, from Haryana, let's now shift our focus to Uttar Pradesh. As ahead of the 4th phase, the political temperature is soaring in UP. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, addressing a rally in Lakhimpur, launched a scathing attack on the India bloc, saying that the India bloc will put Babri Lok to Ram Mandir if it comes to power. The opposition Congress and Samajwadi Party hit back, saying the BJP wants to change the constitution. Listen in.
आज मैं राम गोपाल यादव का एक स्टेटमेंट भी आपको कहना था। वो राम मंदिर को बेकार बताते। मेरी बात याद रखना, जरा भी गलती करी तो ये राम मंदिर पर बाबरी नाम का ताला लगाने का काम करेंगे। इनको मौका दे सकते? ये राहुल बाबा कहते हैं हम एक झटके में गरीबी मिटा देंगे। अरे राहुल बाबा, आपका ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड देखो। आपकी दादी ने एक झटके में आपातकाल लगाया, पिताजी ने एक झटके में ट्रिपल तलाक को फिर से इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया और आपकी पार्टी ने एक झटके में पिछड़ा समाज का आरक्षण छीनने का काम किया है।
ये चुनाव हमारा आपका तो है ही है, लेकिन ये चुनाव हमारे आने वाली पीढ़ी के भविष्य का भी चुनाव है। ये बीजेपी के लोग संविधान को खत्म करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन जो हमें भरोसा मिल रहा है इस चुनावी जनसभा में जो लोग संविधान बदलना चाहते हैं उनको फरक्काबाद की जनता बदल देगी और उनकी जमानत जब्त कराने का काम करेगी।
मोदी जी के जो उम्मीदवार हैं भाजपा के, जगह जगह जाके कह रहे हैं कि हमें वोट दो के हम संविधान बदल देंगे। जितनी भी संस्थाएं थी जो आपको मजबूत बनाने वाली संस्थाएं थी, उनको कमजोर कर डाला है और अब संविधान को बदलने की बात कर रहे हैं। जब ये बात फैली लोगों के बीच में, इनके नेताओं ने ही कही, इनको कहलाया गया। जब ज्यादा फैलने लग गई और मोदी जी को लगा कि नुकसान हो जाएगा चुनाव में, तो वो कहने लगे कि हम संविधान बदलेंगे नहीं। लेकिन सच्चाई क्या है?
All right, with that, it's time for a short break. Here, more news and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. A boat carrying 9 people capsized in the Jhelum River in Jammu Kashmir's Pulwama district. 2 labourers are missing and 7 others were rescued. We are learning now a rescue operation has already been launched. Those are the visuals that have come in from the spot. This is the incident now that has taken place in Jammu Kashmir's Pulwama district. We are learning 9 people were on that boat that capsized in the Jhelum River. In some more news now, a terrorist was killed in a fresh gunfight with security forces in Jammu Kashmir's Kulgam district. As per information available to us, during the search of houses near the encounter site in Redwani area of the district, the fresh exchange of fire had taken place as a terrorist was believed to be hiding in the area. Well, the terrorist has been neutralized by security forces now. Remember, 2 men, including the wanted terrorist of Lashkar-e-Toiba, Basiddar, were killed in the encounter with security forces yesterday in this area. My colleague Nazir gets us more.
One was the commander of TRF, which is a friend for the Lashkar-e-Toiba and believed to be involved in multiple incidents, killings in Kashmir Valley. While the militancy has largely been contained with this, these are the some, remnant militants, locals who have been tracked down by the security forces. One important thing is this year there has been the least minimum, recruitment of locals into militancy. That is the biggest success for the security forces than killing a militant. But when nobody joins the militancy, it kills the militancy and idea of militancy. Killing militants is not a big deal, but nevertheless, this was an operation which was launched by the security forces. So far, 3 militants have been killed in this encounter as the firing resumed.
All right, we'll keep an eye on the situation there. Meanwhile, some more news now that we're tracking. It was a day of chaos at the airport as several Air India Express flights were cancelled after over 100 senior cabin crew members called in sick at last minute, impacting flight operations. The Civil Aviation Ministry has sought a report from Air India Express on cancellation of flights. Air India CEO has tried to address the concerns as well and wrote a letter to the employees. Take a look at this report.
Nearly 90 flights cancelled all of a sudden by Air India Express, a key part of the Tata Group of airlines, which also includes Air India Vistara and Air Asia India. Senior cabin crew from all stations of the airline called in sick since last night didn't turn up for work. Many switched off their phones.
Actually, I'm supposed to fly today or 8:30 to Muscat. I came here at 5 o'clock in the morning. Then I came to know it was cancelled.
With the crisis in the airline snowballing, talks are being held with the Chief Labour Commissioner, and the Ministry of Civil Aviation has told the airline to resolve the crisis as soon as possible, keeping passenger interests as top priority. NDTV has accessed hundreds of letters from cabin crew to the airline's management and a letter sent to the chairman of the Tata Group from the union representing them. The letter says there's growing unrest and dissatisfaction among employees. Several employees with impeccable records have been terminated. Air India Express employees have been offered lower job positions and essential allowances have been removed entirely. Management sources in the airline whom we've spoken to say they don't recognize the union and point out that employees need to accept the terms of a new contract post the acquisition of the airline with the Tata Group. Employees need to be accountable and are assessed for their performance. The airline is entirely transparent in conversations with workers. The big worry now, if talks between the Chief Labour Commissioner, the airline and union workers doesn't make any progress, the situation could snowball with successive flight cancellations over days. thousands will continue to be impacted. For the Tatas, recent protests by pilots at Vistara and now this are signs that their massive foray into civil aviation comes with a series of challenges. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
And well, in the firing case outside actor Salman Khan's house in Bandra, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has directed the Punjab government to conduct a second post-mortem examination of the accused who died in police custody in Mumbai. The directions have come after the accused mother's plea seeking directions to initiate and conduct fresh post-mortem examination of her son Anuj Kumar. The earlier post-mortem was conducted at Mumbai in the control of same police in whose custody Anuj had died.
As Anuj Thapan, who has died in police interrogation, there was a strong suspicion to the family of Anuj. The mother has approached the Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court, who has filed one writ petition in which the Honorable Court has made an order to re-postmortem of the body, which is lying in Fazilka. The direction is to the medical superintendent Faridkot GGS Medical College, and within 2 days we will move a body of Anuj Thapan to GGS Medical College, and GGS Medical College will re-examine the post-mortem and will give us a report.
Alright, in some more news now that we're tracking, Maldives Foreign Minister Musa Zamir has arrived in India on his first very bilateral official visit. It's the maiden high-level visit from Mali since bilateral ties came under strain after President Muizzu assumed office 6 months ago. This is the information coming in. And well, with that, it's time to wrap this edition. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.